My name is Takuka H. Bender, and today I'll be walking you through a project that I did. Um, so quickly, I will share with you what the project is about, and then I'll walk you through the codes and the solution. Okay, so I have three tasks um, to do, but for today's tasks, I'll be working on an inventory tracker. Okay, so it is a Java GUI project, and it's about tracking inventory um, using Swing. Okay, so the objective of this um, project is to build a Dexter GUI-based inventory tracker using Java Swing. Okay, GUI library for Java, and these are the requirements that I was told to fulfill. So the GUI interface must have a form to add products, to view products, to search um, product ID, to use JTable for displaying items, to use array list, and so a bonus would be to add and save to add save or load functionality using the farm. So that's the task that I'm going to walk you through. So I'll take you to the solution, and then after that, I'll take you to the code. Okay, so if you look here, you see this is a solution for this problem that I've been given. And it's a inventory tracker with our products. So I've already tested and added some products. So I'm going to add some product again. So as you can see, you have product ID. So product ID is 004. The product name. So I'm going to say soap. The product quantity. So 10. The price of the product, it's 5. Okay. So I'm going to add the product, and yeah, so product added successfully, and you can see that it has reflected at the table here. So also I have here on the side, we're able to search and view the products using the ID. So I'm going to search for the products that I just added. So 004, search for it. So yeah, there it is. And so 003, search for it. Okay. And then I'm going to search view all products. Yeah. So basically that was the solution that I was able to come up with from these tags. Okay. So I'm going to take you through the code now. So let's go to IntelliJ. Yeah, so yes, IntelliJ. And so firstly, I would love to share with you, yes, the project file. So I have structure my project, okay, using object-oriented programming style. So I have my classes. I have 3 classes. The product inventory and inventory GUI. Okay. So first I want to start with the product class. So open it. Then so we can see the product class. What's it's about. So our product class, right? So For this product class, we want to see what it's about or how it was designed. Okay. So okay. So all right. So yes, the product um the product farm. So before we go that, you can see the main. This is the main file. This is where the entire program kicks off from. So as you can see, we have a main class. First of all, we imported Java Swing and all of the, okay. Now we can begin with the products class. So as you can see, we have a class called product, okay? And this product class is going to implement serializable, okay? So basically, serializable is used for the data, regarding data, saving the data to a file. That's our intent for using serializable classes, okay? So yeah, so after that, we input Java serializable, okay, as you can see. And we have our class called product, implement serializable. We have our data fields. And data fields that we have here, they are products, product ID, the name of the product, the quantity of the product, and the price. So these are the 4 data fields. And as you can see, they are all private. So now, after that, we are going to create our constructor. So the constructor is called product. And so it takes the following parameters. You can see them. Product ID, the name, the quantity, the price as well. And we use this keyword to refer to all of these parameters. Okay, and then after that, we just create our getters and setters methods. So there's a getter method to get all of the ID of the product, to get the name, to get the quantity and the price. Okay, so as you can see here, it's returning the name, returning the quantity. So there's not a void method, this is the getter. So the setter method as well, basically is for modifying the details. And as you can see, we have our set product that takes in a parameter, the same thing with the name and so forth. So after doing all of that, then for the serializable, we have to create another method to convert them to string. All right, all of the inputs through the data fields. So we convert it to string. So that's what this method is called, to string, and it's going to return all of our inputs to the string. Okay, and so we are overriding this particular method. Is going to be override, and that's why we use the override keyword. Okay. So that's about the product class. Now the next class that we're going to look at is the inventory. Okay. So the inventory class I will have here, as you can see, taking inventory about the products, taking stock of the products. And for the inventory, we have we input in few classes. Okay. We're going to import the Java input output, file input output. We import the array list, okay, as the inventory must be saved, but the product must be saved in an array. So we have array list, we have our collectors. Okay. So now our class is called inventory, as you can see here. And we have data fields, and the data fields here is called product, which is an array, as is a list. And we have our data fields, which is a string in the spanner, and it's called data file. Okay, so that's where our data will be stored, data file. And our data file has been assigned this inventory data.file. Okay. So next thing is that we're going to create our constructor method. And basically what it's for, a constructor method will create, we're going to create an object of the product class. All right. So as you can see, we have products. Take note is we have S at the bottom of these products. Okay. So not the product from this class, but rather the products from this. All right. So we have an object. So we say products equal to new array list. It's an object. And we also call a method called load product. So before we go to the load products that we are just called here, let's talk about the app products, what it's about. So the app product function, or our app product method that we have here, so it's a void method, and so it takes in the variable manager. Okay, so we see product, we have products, and this product is from this other class. Okay, so that's a parameter for our add products. And first we want to check whether this product ID is already existing. Okay, whether this product order is existing in our list. Okay, so firstly to do that, we say what ID exists. That's our variable name. ID exists, and then it has a boolean type. So we say ID exists equals to product of string. Okay, all of the products in our array list, they are all strings. Input string, and then we going to call the AnyMatch function, which is going to match it against all of the products. And then when we do that matching, we're going to get the product ID, all right, the getter method that we set. So we get the product ID, and then we are going to ignore case, that is, if lowercase or uppercase, we ignore that, but it must be equal. Okay, so the equal ignore case, that's what it is. So now ID as this holds the entire expression, and basically that expression is to help us to check against or to compare whether the product ID already exists. Okay, so now if ID exists, then what should we do? We should print an error message that says what? This already exists, the product ID already exists. Okay, now return. So after that, If that's not the case, then we have to add a particular product. Okay, we have to add the product. So products.add what? We add the product. All right. So now, after adding the product, I have to save the product. Okay, so save product is another function that we just called here. We explain that as well. So after you've done that, you will have to print out the product that have been added. That's the product name using product.get get name method. So now let's look at the save and the load function that we didn't discuss about. So here's the load function, load product, and the save product. So look at the save product first. That will be called. So here's it. So the save product, we have it public void save product. We have a try and catch expression here for handling exceptional cases. And so we try the object output string. Basically, this where the serializable comes in. Okay. And so we have the object output string, and which is an object. Okay. And we have the name of the instance of the object to be OOS. That's object output string is equals to new OOS, new object output string rather. And then in this this new object output string, the file output string is called data file that we created initially as a data field, private data field in our inventory class. So now we're going to write the object. Write to that object. What we're going to write the products that pass the check, right? Checking for whether the ID already exists. So we're going to write that products to this object output stream instance, and we print it out. Inventory has been saved to this file. Okay, and the catch part of this is for handling exceptional cases. So we have our exception, and our exception is going to print out errors, right? We're going to print out errors. Okay, so now that's for the save. Then the load, as you can see here. So basically, it's going to load. So it's object input stream. So save is object output stream, and then the load is object input stream. So what we're going to do is that we have a file, and the instance of that file object is equal to new file, and then we have the data file here, and we have an expression that will check if the file exists, which is this file. If it exists, then, and the length of that file is more than 0 to tell that if I have something in it, then we should try to load whatever in the file. And that's what this expression is. This try and catch expression is saying that our object input string, which is ORS, equal to the new object input string that takes in this file, all right? And what I say is that the products will be equal to what? This list, the list of products, and that list of product must be read. So it's a read object. Okay, so after that, then we're going to load to say this message, okay? So there are 3 different catch, different catch blocks here to catch different issues, to handle different issues, okay? So that's about it. So this is going to handle issue of a class not being found, the inventory ID. This is going to handle issue of file not found, like that. So that's about the inventory. So we have talked about the load, we have talked about the save method. So now we have to talk about, all right, so that's about the load. We're going to talk about the search product. So we have two main methods here in this inventory class. We have the get products, where we're going to get all of the products. You saw that in the solution, the form. And we're going to get all of the products by, so this is the name of the method, get all products. It belongs to the type of a list, all right? And so we return the array list, okay, of all the products. That's just simple, straightforward. The same for search also. So return the products, all of the strings that's it's in our product list, and then we're gonna filter it by ID, all right? And that's where we have the product get product ID dot equal in case as well. And then we'll put in the product ID. So that's about it. And so next we'll move on to what? We'll move on to our inventory GUI. Okay, so here's the inventory GUI class bar. As you can see, so we imported swing, all of the classes, the objects and methods in swing. Went to import the default table module, and then we have AWT. I think I mentioned this. So we importing the events, action events and action listeners from AWT, and then we input list, right? So then what we do is that we have, so our class, this is our class, and then we have a field. So the class is inventory GR, and it extends to JFrame. Okay, it extends to the JFrame, inheriting from this JFrame. So there's our private data field. Okay, so it's called inventory. That's the name of this data field. So and its type belongs to the inventory class, our inventory class that we have here, public class. These are the different GR components. We have GR components for our products. All of these one are private data fields. These are the names for the product ID field, the name field, the quantity field, the price, and then the add button. So this is specifically for our products, okay? And it belongs to which type? JText field rather. Okay. So basically this is for helping us to edit a single line of text. Now we have JButton as well. We have the component for search. So the search field, the search button, and view all. You saw this in the solution. Then we have the components for display. So we need a table to display. We need a stroke pane, basically, and a default table module. So we have the constructor method of our class it's called inventory GUI. So we create an instance of the object, which is inventory, and it's equals to new inventory. So we initialize the inventory manager. Yeah, set title, the size, the default close operation. That is to close the application, and then so the set location, that is to set it to the center, so it's relative to null. You must set it to the center. So Next is that we have to call these methods, which is to initialize the components, to set up a layout and add listener, and then to update product table. So these are 4 different methods or functions that we have to call, right, in the inventory GUI. So now look at these 4 methods in depth. So the first method is initialize, as you can see here. Initialize, so initialize the components. What does it do? Well, for the initialize component, we have to add the product form. Okay, so this is a product form, the search, product form, the product table. So all of these will initialize the component. And so now for that, we have the data field that we already created, like a product ID, name field, quantity field, and so forth. So we're going to assign it a new JText field, and then the columns, there are 15 columns for the text, the product field, the name field, 15 columns as well, 15 columns, and therefore our button is J button, and then just the text, that's the label of the button. And for the search, the same thing. So the JText, J button, and J button. So the first one is the search ID field, and then the rest of they are buttons. Okay. So so we have a list here that takes in the product ID, the name, the quantity, the price. That's a product table. So now we have a table model, and the table model that we imported is going to be equal to new default table model, the column names, which is this list, the column names, and then the row should be 0. Okay, so we will have to override what this method so that it does not get to be edited. All right. Then afterwards, our product table and our table scoping, as you can see here for the table. Then that's for initialized components. So next we have a set of layout. How do we set a layout? So you have your JPanel object, JPanel object, and we have an instance which is called the mean panel. All right. So the mean panel will be equals to what? New JPanel that takes in what? A new border layout that is 10 by 10. Okay, in terms of pixels. Then that's the mean panel. The not panel is different. Okay, as the mean panel is 10 by 10. The not panel, it's 5 by 5, as you can see here. And then we have 5 rows and there are 2 columns. That's the not panel. Okay, where we have to add the products. All right. So yeah. Then the west panel is where we search and view things. So basically it's 5, 5 as well. And so we have set the border, okay, the title as well. Then yeah, so we're using flow layout. All right, flow layout for the view button, and for the search button, so we have search panel dot add the search input panel and then the border layout view. So that's about the layout for setting our layout. Then let's look at the add listener. So for the add listener, we have add button, okay? Add button dot add listener, and we override it by having this action performer class method that takes in this add product, which is from the previous method that was created. So that's about it. And we also have the add action listener. So this add action listener for the add button, this for the search button, this for the view button. Okay, so these are different actions, all right? For the app products, you're going to override going straight to the app product class, app product method rather. For the search button, overrides, so it gets straight to the search product method that was created in this inventory GUI class. Okay, so the viewer button as well. So we're going to override this particular method, add action listener, and then we get the update product table. So we want to view, okay? And yeah, so that's about it. And yeah, so these are the app products that we just went for. The app product method. This is the search product method. This is the update product method. Okay, so now let's look at them closely. So for the app product method, as you can see here that we called, so for this app product method, we have our try block. So our try block takes in the product ID, the name, the quantity, the price. Okay, you can see their types. And so we are assigning what? The product ID field. Okay, the product ID field that we initialize with a data field, and then we get the text from there, right? Get the text and trim it. So we'll do the same for all of them. And then we come here to do our check-in. So we say if the product ID is empty or the name is empty, if either of them is empty, then we say what? The product ID cannot be empty, all right? So there should be an input error, okay? So a J option pin must give us an error message, okay? So the same thing for here, the quantity. So the quantity cannot be less than 0 and the price cannot be less than 0. So we should get an error message. So basically we have a try block here. And for the add products, to do some checks. And so yeah, so for the product, the name, the quantity and price, then the product, which is our product that we created from this class. So product, new product is equals to product, and we add these parameters. So we have our existing list, okay? The existing list. So an existing product list, all right? So we assign it what to inventory, okay? We assign it to inventory and to search product by ID, all right? So we do our checks, say if the existing is not empty, then what should we do? Let it reflect to show that what? It already exists. Okay, product ID already exists. So then we have the inventory app product. Inventory app product. So for inventory app products, we have to add it. If it passes all of the conditions that were set, we have to add that product, okay? As per this new product. So of the product table, we have our inventory to get all the products. To refresh the table, so we also clear the fields after it has been added successfully by using this clear add field or add form field method that was created. So it's somewhere below. And yeah, so after that, we'll do a catch. If any of those things that we tried fail, then we do a catch to tell us that to enter a valid number for the quantity, the price, the product, or the name. And that's about it. So we have the search product. So the search product, basically, we have our search ID field. We assign it to search ID field or get text. To get a text, we trim it. And once we check whether it's empty. If it's empty, then we say enter the product ID to search. Well, then we have the list of products as our type for this variable called search results. And then, so the search results go to the inventory of products, search product by ID. That takes in a parameter called search ID. So we do a search and say that if our search results, which is the search results, is empty, if it's empty, then it means that we should have a message that prints this the product found, no product found ID. All right. So if not, that's not the case, then we have to update the table, the product table. All right. Yeah. So the next one is update product. So to update the product table, we have product to display as our argument, our parameter for this method. So it belongs to a type of product list, the list of the product, and the array of the product. And we have the table module. We set the row count to 0. That's to clear the existing rows. Okay. So there's a for loop here. And this for loop, we're going to iterate over the row data. Okay. By means of the get product ID, the get name, get quantity. So the format should be to get 2 decimal places. All right. Particularly relating to the price of the product. And so here's the for loop. And then after the for loop, we have our table module to add the row. Okay. So then we have our clear add form field. That's to clear after adding a particular item or product. So that's about the GUI. Thank you so much for going through this solution with me.